6 cholesterol control food your doctor wishes you'd eat. No statins required. Think your cholesterol's just being a little extra lately? You're not alone. High LDL is like that uninvited party guest who eats all the chips and refuses to leave. But don't panic, we're not reaching for the pharmacy just yet. Today, we're diving into 6 mighty foods that can naturally kick bad cholesterol to the curb without a single prescription pad in sight. 1. Unsaturated fats, the cool kids of the fat world. Forget the 90s fat-free craze, unsaturated fats are officially in. These good fats are like the nerdy kid who grew up to run Silicon Valley. Smart, helpful, and really good for your heart. You'll find them in olive oil. No, it's not just for Italian grandmas. Sunflower, corn, and rapeseed oil. Avocados, aka nature's butter. Nuts and seeds. Your snack game just got upgraded. And spreads made from these oils. Yes, even butter has a healthier cousin now. Swap them in. Boot the saturated fats out. Sorry, coconut oil lovers, and your LDL levels will thank you. 2. Oily fish, the heart's favorite seafood buffet. If your idea of seafood is fish sticks, it's time for a glow-up. Oily fish like salmon, sardines, and mackerel are packed with omega-3s, heart-friendly fats that make your arteries do a happy dance. Aim for 2 servings a week. One should be oily, and no, deep-fried doesn't count. Fresh, frozen, tinned, it's all good, as long as it's not swimming in batter. Think trout, pilchards, and herring if you're feeling adventurous. Bonus tip: if your fish comes with a mustache and a French accent, you've probably gone too far. Quick note on coconut and palm oil. They may be tropical and trendy, but these oils are secretly high in saturated fat. Coconut oil might smell like vacation, but for your arteries, it's more like a traffic jam during rush hour. 2. Fruit and vegetables. Nature's multitaskers. Let's talk about fruit and vegetables. You know, those things at the grocery store you keep meaning to eat, but somehow always lose to a bag of chips in the final round. These colorful plant-powered legends are basically heart health's secret weapon. They're low in fat, low in calories, and high in nutrients, fiber, and smug satisfaction. Seriously, eat a salad and you instantly feel like you've got your life together, even if you're still wearing pajamas at 3 p.m. But we're not just in it for the vibes. Fruit and veg can actively reduce your risk of heart disease, stroke, and even some cancers. Why? Because they're loaded with vitamins, minerals, and magical plant chemicals. Okay, phytonutrients, if we're being technical. More importantly, they're high in soluble fiber, which is like a bouncer at the club, blocking bad cholesterol from slipping into your bloodstream. Meet the Fiber All-Stars. Here's your heart's new A-list guest list. Beans, peas, and lentils, cheap, cheerful, and cholesterol-fighting champs. Sweet potatoes, your fries just got a PhD. Aubergine, that's eggplant for non-Brits. Spongy in texture, solid in benefits. Okra, aka ladies' fingers. Weird name, great results. Broccoli, yes, your mom was right. Apples, strawberries, and prunes, your snack drawer just got a fiber upgrade. The more fruits and veg you pile onto your plate, the less room there is for the sneaky, high-calorie culprits that actually raise your cholesterol. You're not just adding good stuff, you're crowding out the bad like a dietary eviction notice. Bottom line? If cholesterol is the villain, fiber is the superhero in disguise. And fruits and vegetables? They're the Avengers, delicious, diverse, and out to save your arteries one bite at a time. 3. What does 5 a day actually look like? Alright, you've heard the classic health advice. Aim for 5 portions of fruit and veg a day. But what does that even mean? Is it 5 grapes? 5 apples? 5 buckets of broccoli? Let's break it down before you start inhaling a head of cabbage like it's popcorn. Here's the deal. A portion is about 80 grams or roughly the size of your fist, unless you're The Rock, in which case, please use a kitchen scale. Daily target, at least 5 portions. One of those, try to make it beans, peas, or lentils. They're like the nerds of the food world. Underestimated, but secretly saving your heart behind the scenes. Portion cheat sheet. How to hit your 5 a day without losing your mind. 3 tablespoons of veg, sweet potato, broccoli, or okra. Yes, we're counting tablespoons, not vibes. 3 tablespoons of beans, peas or lentils, chickpeas, kidney beans, garden peas, red lentils, basically anything that's ever been in a burrito. 2 to 3 florets of cauliflower or broccoli, tiny trees, big impact. Half a large vegetable, courgette, bell pepper or aubergine, eggplant, for the American audience. Half an avocado, because of course avocados made the list. A medium-sized veg, like a turnip, carrot, leek, or tomato. That sad veggie tray at parties suddenly looks heroic. A medium-sized fruit, an apple, banana, or orange, the lunchbox classics still doing the job. 2 small fruits, think plums or satsumas. Yes, they count even if they roll under your car seat. A handful of berries or grapes, prunes and strawberries too, for that antioxidant punch. A generous slice of bigger fruit, melon, mango, pineapple. Bonus points if it makes you feel tropical. 1 tablespoon of dried fruit, raisins, apricots, or anything else that looks suspiciously like candy but isn't. 1 glass, 150 milliliters, of juice, just 1. More doesn't count, and your dentist would like a word. A bowl of salad, preferably not buried in ranch dressing. The fine print, aka the exceptions that break hearts. Potatoes, yams, cassava, and plantains don't count. They're starchy, not sassy. Nutritionally, they're more like rice or pasta in disguise. Unsweetened fruit juice or smoothies. Yes, they count, but only 1 portion per day. More than that, and it's basically dessert with a health halo. Your teeth know the truth. Pro tip: fresh, frozen, tinned, or dried, they all count. Just skip the versions bathing in syrup or salt water. If your fruit is floating like it's in a tropical spa, it's not your best choice. 4. The sneaky cholesterol blockers, Steriles and Stanols. Now let's talk about 2 cholesterol-fighting secret agents you've probably never heard of. Plant Steriles and Stanols. Sounds like a law firm, right? Sterile and Stanols. Attorneys at Heart Health. But don't let the names fool you. These guys are doing serious undercover work in your digestive system. Here's how they roll. Steriles and Stanols are plant compounds that look a lot like cholesterol. So much so, they trick your body into absorbing them instead of the real artery-clogging deal. It's like inviting a fake friend to a party so the toxic one gets bumped from the guest list. Where do you get them? Sure, they're found naturally in things like vegetable oils, nuts and seeds, whole grains, fruits and vegetables. But, and this is a big but, the amounts in regular food are too small to seriously lower your cholesterol. Like trying to stop a flood with a sponge small. So what's the workaround? Fortified foods. Yes, science said hold my yogurt and started adding Steriles and Stanols to mini yogurt drinks, the tiny but mighty kind, plant-based fat spreads, milk, yogurts. Think of them as the functional foods of the cholesterol-fighting world. They're not just pretending to be healthy, they've got clinical backing. Do they work? In short, yes. Start adding them to your routine, and over a few weeks, they can gradually lower your LDL cholesterol. The more consistently you include them, the better the results. Some experts even claim they're the most effective single food group for lowering cholesterol without a prescription. Statins. 5. Who should actually eat sterile and stanol fortified foods? So by now, you might be thinking, these sterile things sound great. Should I start chugging yogurt shots like I'm at a probiotic party? Hold the bottle. Sterile and stanol fortified foods are amazing, but they're not for everyone. Let's sort out who gets the golden ticket and who might want to stick to just eating actual plants. They're great for people with high cholesterol. That's the target audience, folks. If your cholesterol's sky high, these foods could help knock it down a peg, or 10% to be precise. Kids with inherited high cholesterol. Got familial hypercholesterolemia? Say that 3 times fast. With a doctor or dietitian's green light, even kids can use these foods to manage risk early. People already taking statins. Good news. These guys don't compete with statins. They complement them. Think of it as tag team cholesterol control. Statins work one way, Steriles work another. Together, Heart Health Dream Team. Not recommended for pregnant or breastfeeding women. Growing a baby is a full-time job. This isn't the time to start tweaking cholesterol with sterile supplements. Let your OBGYN call the shots here. Children without inherited conditions. If the kid's cholesterol is fine, there's no need to toss fortified yogurt into their lunchbox. It's not a magic snack, it's medicine-level food. People taking ezetrol, ezetimibe. Ezetrol and Steriles both block cholesterol absorption from your gut. They're like two people fighting over the same parking space. Not helpful together. How much should you eat? Aim for 1.5 to 3 grams of Steriles or Stanols daily. That's about 2 teaspoons of fortified fat spread. 1 yogurt, 1 15g, or just 1 fortified mini drink, 65-100g. Pro tip, more is not more. Over 3g a day? No extra benefit, just expensive pee. Stick to the sweet spot. To get the most bang for your Stanol buck. Eat them with meals. Cholesterol bouncers only work if the cholesterol actually shows up to the party. Be consistent, use them daily, not just when you remember. Cholesterol isn't scared of your occasional yogurt. Look for labels. Anything that says, fortified with plant Stanols/Steriles counts. Yes, even supermarket-owned brands. You don't have to go full, premium wellness influencer. Examples? Flora Proactive, Benecol, and a growing gang of surprisingly affordable store brands. 6. Oats and Barley, the carb squad your heart actually loves. Next up on our cholesterol hit list, oats and barley. Yep, those humble grains you've been side-eyeing at breakfast are secretly fiber-packed LDL assassins. Their weapon of choice? A special type of fiber called beta-glucan. It may sound like a sci-fi villain, but trust us. It's more of a superhero with a thick, gooey cape. How it works, aka beta-glucan's greatest trick. When you eat oats or barley, beta-glucan creates a gel in your intestines. Not the gross kind of gel, the kind that binds to cholesterol-rich bile acids like it's on a mission. This gel helps block cholesterol absorption so less of it makes its way into your blood. And your liver freaks out in a good way and says, oh, we need more bile. So it pulls extra cholesterol from your bloodstream to make more. Result, lower blood cholesterol levels. That's right. These carbs actually work harder than your ex ever did. How much do you need? You want around 3 grams of beta-glucan per day, which translates to 3 servings of oat or barley goodness. Here's your oat-powered action plan. A bowl of porridge, 30g of dry oats or 1 instant sachet. A bowl of oat-based cereal flakes, 30-35g. A glass, 250 milliliters, of oat drink. Make sure it actually has beta-glucans. Read the label. 1 oat-based breakfast biscuit. They look like cookies, but wear suits to work. 1 to 2 tablespoons of oat bran. Sprinkle like confetti on soups, stews, or smoothies. 3 oat cakes. Snack heroes in disguise. 30g of oats baked into recipes. Cookies, pancakes, whatever your oat-loving heart desires. 75g of cooked pearl barley. Throw it in casseroles and soups for a hearty fiber boost. Pro tip for shopping like a cholesterol ninja. If a food says on the label that it lowers cholesterol, it must contain at least 1g of beta-glucan. So yes, those heart-claiming oat products are legally obligated to walk the walk. 7. Nuts. Tiny, crunchy cholesterol ninjas. Let's talk nuts, and no, not the people in your group chat. We mean the crunchy, snackable kind that are shockingly powerful when it comes to cholesterol control. These little legends are high in unsaturated fats, the good kind, low in saturated fats, the artery-clogging kind, and loaded with fiber, protein, vitamin E, magnesium, potassium, and even plant sterols. Basically, nuts are the multitaskers of the food world. Your heart's best friend and your snack craving's worst enemy. Why are nuts so effective? That fiber helps block cholesterol from being absorbed in your gut. The fats help raise HDL, good cholesterol, and lower LDL, bad cholesterol. The nutrients? They're like tiny support staff making sure your blood vessels stay smooth and drama-free. Oh, and they're filling, so you're less likely to dive headfirst into a bag of chips while doom-scrolling through your phone. How much do you need? Aim for 28-30g of nuts per day, roughly a handful. Not a backhoe scoop. Not a movie theater mix bowl. Just one proper handful. And yes, all nuts count. Pick your crunchy fighter. Almonds, walnuts, pecans, hazelnuts, macadamias, pistachios, peanuts, technically legumes, but still invited to the party. Brazil nuts, cashews. Pro tip: choose nuts with their skins still on. That's where a lot of the nutrients live. Think of it like leaving the crust on your sandwich, but for your heart. And try swapping them into meals or snacks instead of junky alternatives. You're not adding calories, you're making smarter calories work harder. 8. Soya, the unsung hero of heart health. And finally, we arrive at the superstar that doesn't get nearly enough applause. Soya. No, it's not just for vegans or people who own 3 yoga mats. Soya foods are loaded with protein, low in saturated fat, and packed with vitamins, minerals, and cholesterol-busting potential. So, if your heart could write a grocery list, soya would be at the top, right next to less bacon, please. Why is soya so good for cholesterol control? It's low in saturated fat, which helps lower LDL, bad cholesterol. It replaces heavier, cholesterol-raising foods like red meat, full-fat cream, and greasy snacks. And it's full of plant protein that doesn't come with a side of artery guilt. In short, soya is what meat wishes it could be when it grows up: lean, clean, and heart-friendly. How much soya do you need? Aim for 2 to 3 servings of soya foods per day. That's enough to make your cholesterol take a step back and rethink its life choices. Serving examples include 1 large glass, 250 milliliters of soya milk, 150 g of plain soya yogurt, 150 g of Greek-style soya yogurt, 100 g of soya mince. Hello, meat-free Monday. 35 g handful of soya nuts, aka roasted edamame. Find them in the snack aisle, not the supplement section. 120 g edamame beans. Check the frozen section. They're the green gold. 100 g tofu, whether it's silken, firm, or somewhere in between. And don't worry, you don't have to go full tofu master chef. Toss some edamame in your salad, add soya milk to your smoothie, or go Greek-style yogurt at breakfast. Easy swaps, big gains. Wrap up, final summary. So there you have it, 6 powerful food groups to help you lower cholesterol naturally, ditch the need for excess medication, and build a heart-healthier life, especially as you cruise past 50 with style. Whether you're adding nuts to your snack game, scooping oat bran into your soup, or sipping on fortified soya milk, just remember, small changes equals big heart wins. Closing call to action for YouTube. If this video helped you decode the natural statin alternatives and rethink your next grocery run, hit that subscribe button and join us for more tips on cholesterol control, heart health, and living better without the bland advice. Drop a comment below. Which of these cholesterol-fighting foods is already in your kitchen?